This series is proudly brought to you by Uniting AgeWell, supporting seniors to remain healthy, active and connected. For care and support tailored just for you, contact Uniting AgeWell today. This program is suitable for most people, however it should not replace a supervised exercise program. Please consult your local doctor before commencing an exercise program, especially if you have one or more of the following: have had joint surgery, any medical condition affecting your heart, lungs or blood pressure, joint inflammation, you have not been doing regular exercise. Stop exercising immediately if you experience one or more of the following: chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, dizziness, numbness or tingling in the arms or legs, severe pain or discomfort in your joints. The producers and distributors disclaim any liability or loss, personal or otherwise, resulting from procedures in this program.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Move It or Lose It. I'm Callum.
And I'm Jackie, and we're exercise physiologists with Uniting AgeWell. Today we have our two clients, Di and Barb, helping us out.
Today's session is about promoting healthy bones. Loss of bone density as we age can lead to osteoporosis. It can also lead to falls and fractures in the future.
Regular exercise for bone health, at least weekly, can help you age well and avoid accidents and injuries.
We'll start now with our warm-up, which is going to aim to get our bodies moving, our heart rate up, whilst also incorporating some high-impact exercise where possible. Okay, let's start by walking forward and backwards. We'll now stop on the spot in the middle and start some marching. Concentrate on lifting your knees nice and high and keeping a nice pace. To lift the level of intensity now, you can stomp your feet to the ground.
And if you need to keep it to a lower impact exercise, just stay with the march.
Alright, we'll stop there and we'll do some side stepping. So we'll step to the side and meet our feet and step to the side. Okay, let's start. We'll again increase our exercise intensity by going to a stomp. Making sure we're making a loud noise with our feet, if you're comfortable to do so.
The lower impact option is to stick with the side step.
And we'll stop there. What we're going to do next is lift one leg up and stomp down and stay with that same leg, doing the same. You can feel comfortable to control the level of intensity by just how hard you're hitting the ground. We'll just do one more here and then move to the other side. And last one. All right, we'll have a rest there.
Next, we're going to be moving into our lower body strengthening exercises. So we'll need to grab a chair and a mat that's available. A combination of progressive resistance exercise with moderate impact weight-bearing activities is most effective for increasing bone density or reducing bone loss. We're going to start with our resistance exercise and move into our impact exercises a little later on.
So our clients are going to show you a couple of different options here. So we'll have a floor-based exercise here if you're comfortable to get down to the floor. Otherwise, you can use a chair for our lower limb strengthening now. In the future, when you come back to this video, feel free to try different techniques or different intensities when you feel comfortable. Over here, Barb is going to be starting with a bridge exercise where she's going to be in this position with her knees up and she's going to lift her hips up to the ceiling, squeezing her bottom muscles and then slowly coming back down.
And over on this side in the chair, Di is going to start with her feet and knees hip width apart and her hands across her chest. She's then going to drive up through her heels to a full standing position and then slow and controlled sit back down on the chair. You'll keep going with that, Di, making sure to squeeze your bottom at the top of the movement.
And over here we're focusing on keeping our hips nice and level, knees apart, and squeezing our bottoms right at the top.
A few more repetitions. Keeping the knees nice and wide as you lower yourself down to the chair.
And we might relax there. To increase the intensity over here, Barb is going to try to lift one leg up and go to what we call a single leg bridge. So she's going to continue to lift her hips up, squeezing her bottom still. The main focus here will be trying to keep those hips nice and level, which she's doing really well.
And for Di to increase the intensity of her exercise, she's not going to allow herself to rest at the bottom of the movement. So she'll start by standing and then she'll slowly lower to a squat position and then push up through her heels to a full standing, trying not to rest at the bottom.
And we'll swap over legs over here. Try about 6 on each side.
Remembering to push those knees nice and wide, Di. Excellent.
All right, let's rest there.
When we talk about progressive resistance training, we mean striving for more challenging exercise over time. So as you can see, we've given you the 2 different level options today. Next time you come back to do this session, try and progress the level that you've been working at.
We're all done with that section. Next, we're going to move into an upper body resistance training exercise. We're now going to start with our upper limb resistance exercise. So for this, you're going to need a sturdy bench or table. You can use a wall or a chair up against the wall. For it, we're going to get into a push-up position. So hands shoulder width apart and a nice straight body. And we're going to lower ourselves down and push away from the bar. Whilst you're doing this, you want to keep up onto your toes and keep your body nice and straight. You also want to make sure that your elbows aren't flaring out to the sides, that they're tucked nice and close to your body on about a 45-degree angle. So we'll do a few more of these before increasing the intensity of the exercise. And last one. Okay, to increase the intensity of this exercise, we're going to stay in the same position. We're going to lower ourselves in, but when we push ourselves away, we're going to do a clap before catching again and doing the same. The idea of this is that each time you catch yourself, you're getting an impact through your upper limbs. So let's begin to do that. Into position, lower and push, clap, and come down.
And we'll be sticking with the lower impact option of just the push-up.
You can see here Barb's getting a nice impact each time she grabs the bar. And into the future you can focus more on a big push away. We'll just do 2 more reps. And we'll hold it there. To finish this part off, we're going to do a chest stretch because we've just worked those muscles. So bringing your hands in front of you for everyone, we're going to slowly come back, all the way back as far as you can, getting a stretch at the front of your chest. You're then going to bring your arms in, give yourself a big hug, reaching as far around as you can. We're going to repeat that again, so out nice and far back, big stretch, hold, hold, and give yourself a nice big hug. That'll finish us for the exercises for this part. Take a rest before we come back after the break.
Continue doing what you love with the help of Uniting AgeWell. With 5 AgeWell centres across Melbourne, our highly experienced health and exercise professionals design tailored wellbeing programs for older people using state-of-the-art exercise equipment and technology. Receive assistance with physiotherapy, occupational therapy, podiatry and exercise therapy, including yoga, tai chi, Pilates and stretch classes. Start your journey to wellness today. Contact Uniting AgeWell to find out how.
Welcome back. Next we'll be moving into our impact exercises. Bones become stronger when a certain amount of impact or extra strain is placed upon them. As we mentioned earlier, we'll be showing two various levels of intensity for each exercise.
If you want to go along with the higher impact exercise, you can follow Barb and I.
And for the lower impact option, you'll follow along with Di and myself.
Okay, what we're going to start with is a stomping exercise. So standing on the spot here with Barb, we're going to stomp, just like that.
And for the lower level option, we'll just be marching on the spot. Okay, when you're ready, Barb and Di.
So in the high impact exercise option, you really want to be trying to make as much sound with your feet as you can.
And for the lower level option, try and get your arms working and lift your knees up as high as possible.
Okay, we'll hold it there for the moment. The next thing that we're going to try over on our side is a box step with a stomp on each step, okay? So it'll look like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Focusing on a nice loud sound in each direction as you place your foot.
And over on this side, we'll be repeating that pattern, but just with as little or as much impact as you like. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, let's begin. So we're aiming for a stomp, stomp on our steps forward, getting impact through the bones in all different directions. And we'll rest there. The next exercise that we're going to try is going to be our most challenging exercise on this side. So don't be concerned if you can't do it for the full amount of time. The exercise that we're doing is the jumping jacks, which will look like this. So arms out to the side, feet to the side, arms in and feet together. Now, you can do that at different levels of intensity by increasing how fast you do it, whether it be like this or slower, with feet out to the side, arms out to the side, nice and slowly. We're going to do 2 sets of 15 seconds for this, so don't feel concerned if you can't get through the full 15 seconds. Take a rest if you need to.
The lower impact option for this one is a side step with arm raise. Stepping to the side, lifting your arm at the same time. Okay.
All right, let's begin that 15-second set when you're ready.
And you can increase the speed of movement as you feel comfortable.
The most important thing on this side is to attempt to get nice impact through the feet. 3, 2, 1, and we'll rest there. Well done. As I said, if you can't get through the full 15 seconds of the exercise, that's okay, have a rest. And in the future, you may be able to do the full 15 seconds. You can even feel comfortable to add more sets as you feel comfortable. All right, let's try our second set of the exercise. Exactly the same thing, focusing on the impact. Off you go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Feel free to have a nice big rest now. Doing that high intensity exercise can be hard, and we want to make sure that you're refreshed before you're doing your next set of exercises.
Next, we'll be moving into some low intensity balance exercise, so we give our bodies the chance to rest and recover before moving on to our impact exercises. So we'll grab our chairs ready for our balance exercise next. Okay, so we have our chairs ready for our balance exercise next. Balance exercises don't specifically promote bone strength, however they're important for improving your stability to help reduce falls and therefore protect your bones.
The first exercise that we're going to try is bringing our feet together so that they're touching as close as you can get them, and then lifting your hands away from the chair so you're balancing in that position. This is the easiest exercise that we'll try today, and it might be the only one that you can complete, but that's okay. As we go on throughout the exercises, they'll get more and more difficult, so it can challenge you if you'd like to go with those. Now what we're going to do is add a bit of a challenge by turning our head from side to side. Remaining with our feet nice and close together and trying to be as still as possible. You can complete this for up to 30 seconds before moving on to a more difficult exercise. Our next exercise that we'll try and show you now is our tandem stance. So bringing one foot in front of the other, heel to toe stance, and letting go of the chair. You want to aim to keep as still as possible. You can also try getting a bend in your leg and seeing how that feels, or straightening that leg. Another thing you can do if you find this too difficult is to slide one foot to the side so that you've got a semi-tandem stance. All right, we'll try having our other foot forward now. So swapping over, heel to toe stance again. And again, if you feel comfortable, the extra challenge is to turn your head from side to side slowly. It's okay if you lose your balance at any time. You just grab hold of your chair and straighten up. All right, we'll move to our next exercise, which is our most difficult exercise, which will be standing on one leg. To do this, grab hold of your chair first, lifting one leg up, so you've just got one leg on the ground, making sure that your leg is away from the other leg, not touching, and attempt to stand still for as long as you can. Especially when you're doing this exercise, you might feel the need to grab the chair, but that's okay as long as you keep challenging yourself over and over. You should be aiming to do this exercise for about 20 seconds on each side, but it's okay if you can only do a few seconds to start with. Let's go over to the other side to start. All right. Trying to focus on one spot and staying nice and still can help. Again, you can think about bending your knee and seeing how that feels, or straightening your leg. To finally give yourself a big challenge, if you've got your chair steady, you can start with your hand on it and think about closing your eyes and being in this position. Taking your hand away, holding on when you need to. Well done. We'll take a rest there and we'll see you after the break.
Next, we'll be moving into our second set of impact exercises. Remember to work at your own level and choose the variation that you're comfortable and confident with. The focus for this section is going to be on your technique, with a particular focus on our landing technique.
Over here, if you're comfortable doing the more high impact exercise, Barb is going to show you a jump and land exercise. For this, we're going to get into our ready position before jumping up and landing down in this position. So I'll show you once more. Ready, jump up. Focusing, as Jackie said, on the landing with a bend at the ankles, knees and hips, so sitting back.
For the lower impact option, Di is going to be completing a triple extension and land. So she's going to reach up all the way on her toes, arms up towards the roof. She's then going to drive her arms down and back as she lowers her body into a squat position and drives her heels into the ground. So she'll reset. Reach up nice and high, and then think about driving the arms, bottom and heels into the ground. We'll begin together.
And for this exercise, we want to take it nice and slowly, making sure that we reset all together between each exercise, and that's something that you can do at home as well. We want to make sure that each time we do the jump, that it's our best effort and that we relax before doing it again. Okay, so let's start with the first one, and go. Good, and reset into position, and go. Good. And reset into position, and go. Excellent, really good impact on the floor there. Reset into position, and go. Good, really good knee position, making sure to keep them apart. Reset, and go. And we'll just do one more, try and make it the best one yet. Into position, and go. Really good. All right, for our next exercise, what we're going to do over here in the more difficult side is to do our broad jump. So it's a forward jump with our focus still on the landing, similar to what we've just done. So it'll look like this. Into our ready position, small jump forward, landing, again, bend at our ankles, our knees and our hips. I'll show you once more. Reset into position, prepare and jump, land into that position. Now the focus is not on the length of your jump, it's on the landing itself. Into the future, you can think about jumping a little bit further if you feel comfortable, but we're focusing on the landing and the impact is the most important part.
On the lower impact side, we're going to be also jumping forward, but we're going to be landing our feet 1-1 rather than at the same time. So you'll be starting with the feet and knees hip width apart and then jumping forward and a staggered landing. Stepping back, jumping forward, staggered landing.
Again, we're going to try and do the exercise all together, making sure we're reset and comfortable before we go again. Okay, so let's get into position to start and go. Good. And reset.
Keep your feet nice and wide.
And go. Excellent, excellent landing. Very good. And again, go. Good.
This time, try and land with the other foot first, then the second foot.
Okay, and go. Just 2 more. Really good focus on keeping your knees apart and getting into that squat position. And go. And the last one for this set. And go. Well done. The last exercise that we're going to do for this section will be our jumping from side to side. Over on this side, we're going to do that with both feet together. Jump over to the side, land, and going back to the side. If you feel comfortable, you can try and go from side to side quickly, but again, our concentration is going to be on impact rather than speed. So looking like this. Okay.
And on the other side, we're still going to be landing 1-1. So lifting the knee up to the sky and then pushing to the side, landing 1 foot at a time. Trying to make impact through the heels of your foot.
And when we do this exercise, we might do it in 2 sets, so we have a bit of a rest between sets. We'll do it for about 15 seconds and we'll get ready to do it now. Okay, and you can begin.
Good.
You can see Barb increasing her speed there. And we'll rest for the first set there. Maybe for this second set, we'll focus on doing a bit more speed rather than just the impact over on this side.
And Di, you can try the same, a little bit faster with your movement, really pushing down through your heels.
Okay, let's do our second set of 15 seconds. You can see with every impact, the bones are being stressed, and that's exactly what we're looking for to improve bone health. And we'll stop there. Now that we've got our chairs, we're going to finish with some cool down and flexibility exercises. The first exercise that we're going to try is our seated hamstring stretch. So bring yourself to the front of your chair, straightening out one leg with the other one bent. We're going to bring our hands to our thigh and hinging at the waist, come all the way down as far as you can reach. It's not necessary that you bring your feet all the way down to your toes, but you just want to feel a level of discomfort in the back of your leg. We're going to hold this for up to 30 seconds before switching to the other side. In the future, you can do these stretches for 2 sets or hold them for longer, all the way up until a minute. All right, let's try the other side. Again, be in the front of your chair, leaning down, making sure you can feel it in the back of your thigh and holding that position. You just want to go to your level of comfort of this and not push yourself too hard. We'll just hold for another 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. We'll give our legs a quick shake out before moving on to the next exercise. All right, for our next stretch, we're going to be doing a standing calf stretch. So you're going to go over to the back of your chair, reaching 1 foot right back, keeping your heel on the ground, and then gently bringing your hips forward to feel a stretch in your lower leg. To make it more intense, you can always just move your foot back a little bit further, but making sure your heel stays against the ground. Hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds. Again, shifting your hips forward to make it a little bit more intense. All right, we'll stand up, give that one a quick shake, and then swap legs, other leg back this time. Making sure heel is in contact with the ground. And you're pushing your hips forward slightly. You should be feeling this stretch at the bottom of your leg. All right, we'll stop there. Give both legs a bit of a shake. And this is an exercise that you can complete a couple of times up until a minute on each side.
And our final stretch for today is going to be our child's pose with our arms resting on the back of the chair. So you're just going to take your wrists over the back of the chair and walk your feet back, and then bending at the knees and hips into a small squat position. You're going to tuck your chin in and feel a nice stretch through the front of your arms, down the sides of your chest and in your upper back. We're going to take 3 deep breaths in and out here. Well done. You can bring yourself back to standing.
Congratulations on completing today's session. We hope we've given you some insight into some exercises for bone health. Feel free to increase the intensity of the exercises next time you revisit this session.
Remember to complete impact activities, progressive resistance training, and challenging balance and functional activities at least 3 times a week.
Thank you for watching Move It or Lose It.
We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Amanda, Regional Manager, AgeWell Centres at Uniting AgeWell. After about 50 years of age, we all experience bone loss, so it's important we do everything we can to support our bone health. Regular, ongoing and varied exercise is one of the most effective ways to reduce bone and muscle loss, prevent falls and reduce the risk of fractures. Having a calcium-rich diet and making sure you get enough vitamin D are also important for maintaining healthy bones. Without enough calcium in your diet, your body will take calcium from your bones, making them weaker over time. Vitamin D helps to increase calcium absorption, helps strengthen your bones and supports muscle function. Calcium can be found in foods such as dairy, oranges, sardines, salmon, almonds, tofu, baked beans and green leafy vegetables. It's unlikely you'll get enough vitamin D from your diet. In fact, the main source of vitamin D is sunlight. Aim to expose your hands, face and arms to the sun every day. Be mindful that smoking, alcohol, caffeine and salt can also affect your bone density. If you're concerned about your bone health or your risk of osteoporosis, you should see your doctor. If you don't think you're getting enough calcium or vitamin D, talk to your doctor or a dietitian and meet with a physiotherapist or exercise physiologist to have an exercise program tailored specifically for you.
This series is proudly brought to you by Uniting AgeWell, supporting seniors to remain healthy, active and connected. For care and support tailored just for you, contact Uniting AgeWell today.